trying to make sure it's just like... Is that good? I can't tell if the phone quality just looks funky or if there's like a smudge on the screen. I'm gonna go with it just looks a little funky on account that it is a older device desperately trying to cling to life. We're gonna have everything set, boys. This is the first time all season I have worn a not the new City Connect jersey. I have quite literally only worn that this season. But it is an important day. It is the day of the glorious return. Okay, the mic is on. It's Lance McCullers' day. This is quite literally like 4 years in the making. It's been so long. Not 4 years. Nearly parts of 3 seasons. Nearly 3 full years in the making to finally see Lance McCullers pitch again. And we're here. It's finally come time. I am more than a little bit terrified, if I'm being honest. Mostly because, oh my god, predict MLJ stat line. All right. I was gonna get into like what I'm expecting from him, and let me rephrase. What I expect the stat lines are gonna be versus what I'm hoping for are two totally different things. Ultimately, I care most about, does the velocity look good? Are his pitches still moving the way they moved? Right? Because McCullers, his fastball never blew people away, and that was never the McCullers thing. I will answer this. This is going to be a part of a grander thing that I'm going to get into with Lance. Like, his pitches moved. He didn't throw, like, a blow-you-away fastball, right? But he had a sinker, and it moved pretty well. I want to see good movement from the slider, curve, and sinker from Lance. I want to see him not get injured, most of all. I do not understand, or I don't think you guys understand what that would look like if McCullers gets injured again and I have to watch that live. So, because I'm pretty sure, to this point, the only time where I have said the most bad one on this channel was during McCullers in Game 3. Where the funny little word rhyming with the bird in ponds, it was completely involuntary. I want to see velo, I want to see movement, and I want to see him do it healthy. If he gets lit for some runs, I really don't care. Now, he's looked great in the minors. I want to say he's pitched 3 games for Sugarland. Oh my god, yeah, don't remind me of that. I'm going to say... I'm hoping... Hope and want are 2 very different things, which I do need to be careful with. Alright. No more beating around the bush. We're going into it. 4 innings. I'm going to say 5 strikeouts. 2 walks, 2 runs. I'd be very happy with that. Like, I think he's probably going to go to around the 50 pitch mark. I don't think they're going to go much further than that. They're going to be super cautious with him. And that makes sense. Like, people do not want to accept this fact. McCullers is an important part of the team when he's actually there. The problem is he has not freaking been there for quite a while. And again, that is not his fault. That is a large amalgamation of crappy shit that's happened to him. So let me see it. Here we go. So in his minor league starts this year, he's pitched 4 games, 12 and 2/3 innings, 2.84 ERA, striking out 11.37 batters per 9, which is good. Like, that's good numbers. The walks are still there. Are we surprised? FIP was good. He pitched well. He pitched well in his minor league starts. He took care of business. Can I find, like, boring numbers? Yeah, 4 earned runs in 12 and some change innings. And I want to say 2 of them were, like, 6 innings of shutout ball. He's looked good. Pena grounds one, gobbled up, throw to first, and out. And can I edit that? I cannot. Altuve steps to the plate, 1 pitch, 1 out. Yeah, I'm not expecting... Like, here's the thing. Obviously, I hope 1 full inning. Obviously, in a dream, he goes... And here's the thing. Regardless of how good or bad he's looking, they're going to get him to, like, 50 pitches. And they have to. Obviously, I'd love if he just pitches great and doesn't allow a run, doesn't, like, walk anybody. That's not McCullers. Like, McCullers is a very electric pitcher. I think it's a great thing that it's against the White Sox because, A, there is no one there. There's, like, 5 people in attendance, so you don't have to worry about the crowd being too loud. He is a significantly better and more calm Enoli Paredes. He gets very emotional. And again, I'm not saying this all from what he has examined in what he has revealed to us via what he's done on the field, what he's done publicly. He runs on emotion. And it's a big moment for him. I can't imagine taking that long away from a game trying to rehab it. And I don't play it I do not play at a high level. I play screwing around, right? But if I got hurt doing it and I didn't play for 3 years, it'd be terrifying to go back. And this is his livelihood. This is everything. Like, he's battled. And that's my biggest thing. He deserves himself to have a good game today and to battle back from this. Because he has killed himself trying to get back to this point for this team. And he as an individual deserves to have a happy ending. And regardless of how long that is with this team, regardless of everything else, he deserves to come back and have a good story. And I'm glad to see, as we approach it, a lot more fans have kind of come back to the side of Lance McCullers, because do not let any of the things that are said today fool anybody. A large portion of this fan base, they could be the same person. There he goes. Oh my God, he's actually there. I said I wouldn't believe it until it happened. Anyway, back to my point that I was making. Do not let any of what will be said today fool you. In the waning moments of after the 2022 championship and all throughout the 2023 season and large chunks of last year when his return was imminent or not happening, large portions of this fan base hated Lance McCullers. And not were upset that he was getting injured, not upset that he wasn't quite back yet, hated his guts, wanted him straight up cut from the team. Large chunks of this fan base. And it's insane, because in the seasons where McCullers is healthy, they win the World Series. And in the seasons where he's not, they kind of don't. And all this player has ever done, in an age where we beg and scream and do anything talking about, These guys are money hungry. They are chasing the money. They are chasing the paycheck. What happened to good old-fashioned loyalty? Which is a totally different conversation. You have a player who, at that moment in time, probably took a slight pay cut to stay with the team, and all he has ever talked about is loving the city, the team, and the fan base, and is at the time it happened, was a blossoming young star in the city and debatably in the league. He went on to be second in ERA that season, like the season following, when he signed his extension. All he's talked about is loving this city, and large chunks of the fan base have just done nothing but hate on him, and it devastates me. And he's finally back. Here it is, first pitch in almost 3 years. Just outside. Not a terrible pitch. Could have picked up a swing there. Does not get it. It's 1-0. 90 mile an hour on it. I do not know what they said it was. I think it was a changeup. Down the middle, there's a sinker. 91. Picks up strike one. It was a solid pitch. I'm also looking to see where he places it compared to the glove. Calling it low outside, fouled off, slider at 81. Took a nice little movement there on the slider. It chased pretty well. Who's catching today? Because they did not toss him that ball. 1-2 count. Could be a beautiful thing right here. 1-2. McCullers deals. Fouled up. Back at 83. It's Carantini. What's up, Daniel? Yeah, Carantini did not even get that ball close to McCullers when he tossed it back to him. That was really funny. McCullers is still ahead in the count. 1-2. Looks like he's going to be down and away. Probably another slider call. Grounds one. Fair. Throw to first is in time to get him. McCullers retires the first batter of his day on 5 pitches. Nice little piece of contact into the dirt. Nothing too bad out of that. We move. I want to get the exit velo off of that hit. 99 into a ground out, but at a -8 or 15 exit or launch angle. So nothing too bad there. Nothing you're too concerned about. McCullers now looks at his second bloke of the day. Deals. Carantini somewhat down inside. 94 on the sinker, right down the middle. Gets him looking ahead of the count. 0-1. A very solid pitch. Shook a little bit from McCullers. Already the next pitch. Sets up down inside. 92 on the sinker. Fouled away ahead of the count. 0-2. McCullers is looking really good on account that the pitch clock is now there. Granted, it was there in the minors. But he is rolling. He is clicking. He's getting these pitches quick. And he's delivering them quick. The velo looks good, especially after 3 years. Down and away is the setup. Fouls one back, 82 on the slider. The slider's looking really good. The slider's being placed really well from Lance. Again, already ready to go. He is trying to go quick. Like, he's antsy. Which is a good thing. I say this as a person who is often nervous. You can tell how much he cares right now, and it's sweet. Pitch in the dirt. It was not a bad pitch, especially when you're ahead of the count. 0-2. That's not a control thing. That's definitely where he wanted the pitch for Carantini, so we move with that. Still ahead of the count. 1-2. McCullers' 10th pitch of the game. Carantini, where is he setting up? High inside. It's down and low. Fouled it off his foot, it appears. We'll stay ahead of the count. 1-2. Obviously, it is 11 pitches into the return. His controls looked good, and he hasn't been putting pitches like outside the zone, which is nice. I would have expected maybe a little bit more kind of nibbling on the outside corners, but he's placing them well within the zone when he wants them to, and when he's trying to get that waste pitch, it's just a waste pitch, and that's not we live with that. 1-2. Sends one into left field. Little looping single there. Altuve plays it back in. Runner aboard for the White Sox. Wasn't quite a meatball. Where was that placed? The slider definitely rose up there. Carantini wanted it a bit lower. But again, that's fine. The 100-mile-an-hour pitch, or the 100-mile-an-hour contact was in the dirt for a ground out. The 91 is a single into the left field because baseball is a funny little sport. Nice changeup that just buckled him there at 87. Benintendi could do basically nothing but just stare at that. That was a really nice... That might be his nicest pitch of the day so far. After 12 pitches. Whoo! Another 87-mile-an-hour changeup. Benintendi swings at air. That had a nasty little duck away at the end there. It was cutting in. It looked like it was going to be on his hands, and then it just kind of dropped and away. That was a really nice changeup for Lance. Ahead of the count 0-2, Benintendi takes a timeout. The biggest sign here that's good, he's working ahead of every batter. Like, he's doing a really good job getting ahead of the count right now. I know it's the White Sox. Calm down. Swings at air, the knuckle curve. And Lance McCullers, in the most on-brand way, picks up his first strikeout in almost 3 years. 900 days, McCullers picks up a K. And just filthy at bat there to Benintendi. Genuinely a disgusting at bat to Benintendi. Sinker slightly gets away from him. Out of the zone. It's 1-0. He's obviously going to be a lot more careful with the Luis Roberts. Luis Roberts is batting 182 with a 645 OPS. Roberts skies one. Changeup at 87. The changeup looks really freaking good. Like, I think that's the third changeup of the day for him. It looks really good. The sinker's fine. The slider's pretty solid. The knuckle curve was filthy. The changeup has got some... That's a gross-looking changeup. Roberts flies one. Altuve plays it off a hop. This is going to sound like extreme cope, and that's fine. Any outfielder not named Altuve probably makes that play. I'm just going to be honest. That's a really... God, I know it's so cope. That's a play you'd like an outfielder to make. I understand it's Altuve and he's the golden boy, but that's a looping flyout that you'd love to see caught. Like 113 just kind of floated out there. You'd really... Yeah. But we're chilling. Behind on Edgar Iquero. 1-0. Picks up a strike there. The knuckle curve comes back out. Knuckle curve is looking really nice. Both the knuckle curve and the changeup have been moving at quite a nice little click. So, things we love to see. One, down and in. Knuckle curve at 83. Doesn't get a swing. Definitely could have gotten a bite there. It was a nice pitch. Maybe a little bit too low, but it happens. Now behind in the count, 2-1. McCullers delivers. Fouled off, 83. The knuckle curve again. See, that's the thing. He's just got to build confidence back up. And I think this was a really good game call by Victor Carantini. He got the He was calling for the pitches that he knew he could place. Like, wanted to get some sinkers in there early, wanted to get some sliders in there early. Got Lance to be comfortable, had the confidence that he was going to get it into the zone. Dribbler. Play by Brendan Rodgers. Lance McCullers is through the first inning. And what a Lance McCullers-ass stat line. 2 hits given up, a strikeout, 22 pitches, scoreless. Ladies and gentlemen, he's never been so back. He's never been more back. We're so back. Experience Lance McCullers baseball, baby. I've missed you. I've missed him so much. All right. Overall, thoughts and opinions from the first inning of McCullers' return. Did he throw 5 straight knuckle curves to... Again, Lance McCullers' ass stat line. All right. Player breakdown. Let's take a peeksy doodle at him. So, pitches. Pitch velo. Knuckle curve averaging 82. Sinker was averaging 91.9, so say 92. Did hit 93.8, so almost 94. Changeup was averaging 87.7. Slider was averaging 82.6. All of his velos, except for the changeup, are down. But all of the spin rates are significantly up. Spin rate on the changeup was up 360 RPM. On the sinker was 210. Slider basically stayed the same. It was 19. The knuckle curve, which is the only pitch that you could debate actually is better if it spins less, was not better, but down 20. We can live with that. That is not bad. You'd like the velo to creep back. I assume it's going to creep back as the season progresses and he gets the muscles back under him. I think it's a great game call by Carantini. Got the sinkers, got the sliders, got him to feel comfortable, got him to have confidence, put it in the zone, and then let him start to nibble with the changeup and the knuckle curve. I think that was a really good game call. Not great, not bad. It was good. It was good. Listen, I say this as a person who, is incredibly anxious a lot. All of the movements you could see from him, he was terrified. He was terrified. And I can't blame him. He hasn't done this in 3 years. There's so much riding on it. There's so much pressure of the comeback. He's been one of the bigger 5 stories of this team for 3 years. That's hard. It's especially hard when you are the biggest story of the team, or one of the 5 biggest stories of a team for 3 years, and you cannot touch a field. This isn't Altuve becoming a big story for whatever. Altuve is a bad example, but, player X is a big story, but then they get to go on a field and it's in their hands. It was never in his hands. Nothing he did for the past 3 years has been in his hands. And it's pressure. The good thing is, McCullers was made for pressure. That was the whole thing. He is one of the better, aside from the World Series, one of the better playoff performers in the franchise's history. He's a clutch guy. He lives for bigger moments. And so he could handle it, but you can handle it when you're in the position to be able to affect it. And he wasn't. That was the issue. What do I think about the Mariners? Hot start. Do you consider them a threat for the AL West race? I mean, yeah, I do. But also, they're a threat in the way of, you've got to obviously beat them. I'm not necessarily terrified of them. I think it's a pretty even race with them and the Astros. If you want to look at Pythagorean, because that's the thing. The Astros have been getting incredibly unlucky. If you look at runs allowed in force, a Pythagorean theorem, the Astros should be 18-14, and the Mariners should be 19-13. So it's a 1-game difference in expected. And in reality, it's a 2-game difference. So, yes, they are hot. But also, if you look at some expected stuff, it's not that much of a gap. Also, again, this is not to be an ass to the Mariners. A lot of their higher-end guys, Cal Raleigh's having a really good season behind the plate. I truly, truly think when the Astros start to get... It's weird. The Astros are at a point now where I can't even say, oh, they're higher-end offensive talent. They still have incredible high offensive talent. Altuve is still a very solid player. Yordan is Yordan Alvarez. I do not care about what their numbers are before June. Once we get into June, if the numbers aren't starting to battle back, then we'll have a conversation. I think they're two really, really solid teams. I don't know that either of them... And listen, this is going to be a moment where I probably get kind of executed here. The Tigers are really good now. They've come out of it. The Tigers are a very, very good baseball team. And I think they're one of the best teams. I think they're fantastic. The Yankees just won the pennant, and I understand, oh, but what happened in the World Series? They have unreal talent. They have unreal players. And when you win a pennant, especially the way they did, and when the other monster of the AL, which was the Astros, kind of falls off the way they do, like, it's insane to say that was the first time since 2017 the Astros have gone 2 years without winning a pennant. That's a very strange thing. It was World Series win, ALCS loss, pennant, ALCS loss, pennant, World Series. And then you lose in ALCS, you lose wild card round. The Astros now are kind of in the position where they need to battle back and prove that they are once again a really good team and tops of the league. I feel at this moment in time, it's the Tigers and Yankees league to lose in the AL. But if the Astros, that's the other thing, is it depends on which version of the Astros do you get? Do you get the team that once the playoffs start turn into a collection of dogs? Not a fan of the Pythagorean theorem? Are you not a bean counter like I am, Brandon? Should we get Brandon Lowe? Are the Rays bad enough to want to trade him? Yes, they are. Very quick, yes. I've liked Brandon Lowe for a while now. Ground ball. Astros have another base runner. Let's go, boys. Here's the thing. I did not realize how bad he's been this season. He has an OPS plus of 58. So I'm going to say no. The Astros do not need any more infielders. They need an outfielder. They need someone so that Altuve doesn't have to do this charade of playing left field. Because I was fine with the Altuve theory because I thought it would be over by now. I thought that by now they'd go like, yeah, that ain't it, fam, and undo their mistake. And yet, we are now into May, and Altuve is still playing games at left field. And it's very stupid. Can we get Luis Roberts? You can get anything. It depends on what you are willing to pay. If you called the White Sox and said, hey, we will trade you 8 players for Luis Roberts, then yes, you could absolutely have Luis Roberts. Do you want to do that? Heck no. obviously, past couple seasons have not treated him well. I don't blame anyone for anything that happened last season, because that was just not a real year for the Chicago White Sox. It's a matter... The Astros right now are in a very... Yeah, do you want to pay for it? The Astros are in a weird spot right now. Because in years past, when it's, you know, oh, they have Altuve and Correa and Springer and Bregman and Tucker and Yordan and X, Y, and Z. They can go into the deadline and just grab... Jake's simply here. He's him. Anyway, back to my point at hand. Bases loaded now for the Astros, by the way. When you have a team like that, you can just go into the deadline and pick up a complementary piece. That's all you need. The Astros are no longer a deadline complementary piece team. They are a, hey, we need to get a stud. We need to get a really good player. Because last year, you have, you know, top 5 in offensive WAR last season: Yordan, Tucker, Pena, Bregman, Altuve. If you discount Pena because all of that was defensive WAR. Also, can I take a brief moment to give myself a victory lap, if I may? I said coming into this season, I think Pena's going to have a return to form. He's going to be a stud defensively again, and he's going to have that OPS plus, WRC plus, whichever one you prefer, around that 110 to 120 mark. Jeremy Pena currently right now, boys, has a 123 WRC plus. I will throw my arm out. I will throw my arm out, patting myself on the back for that. So we just get scraps now? No. That's not what I'm saying. The Astros no longer need a complementary piece. They need to go find a good player. Like, in years past, they get, you know, depth guys. If someone gets hurt, right? That's what they've done. And it's worked. That was what Carantini was. That's what Trey Mancini was. That's what, name a guy. Mainly, I think of pitchers. They're not there anymore. That's not the team that they have now. They need to go get, like you're saying, an everyday player. They need to go get... No longer are you thinking you want 110 to 130 WRC plus. You want 120 to 140. You want... I'm sorry, Aaron Judge has a WRC plus of 270? Mauricio Dubon puts one up the middle. 1 run comes home. The Astros take a 1-0 lead. Jake Myers is safe at third. What a beautiful play there. 2 runs come home, it actually looks like. The Astros have a 2-0 lead off of an RBI double from Mauricio Dubon. Give it up for them, boys. No, the Astros, like... You know, there's a... Here we go. Outfielder from... I'm going to be an asshole from... Hey guys, I don't think I want to live on the planet anymore because I just checked the top 10 players of WRC+. In the league. You know, the Astros now, they need really good offense, right, in the outfield. So, like, you know, Toronto's bad. Guy like, who's this George Springer fella? With a 176 WRC+. That... Kill me. This fella in Chicago. I know they're good, but if you could wrestle like a Kyle Tucker away from them, I hate everything. Alex Bregman is 4th in WRC plus, guys. In the league. Sorry about that outburst. How many ex-Astros are in the top, like, 20? That's painful actually. That like really. I was having a really good day, and it is ruined now actually. Okay. We're back. We're gonna lock in. We're locking in. We're dialed in. We're dialed. We're dialed now. I don't know what he plays. Let me look at this fella. Second base. Of course, everyone I'm gonna look at is probably gonna play second base, which is great. Can I go all hitters? No. Positional. Outfield. That's what I want to peek at. Okay, you don't count. Javi's played the outfield for 12 games. Fair enough. All positions. I want primary position. Let's just go left field. Let's just look at that. You could grab. James Wood is having an actual diabolical season in Washington with the Nats. He's a younger guy, incredibly young. This is his second season. So this is going to be a debate of like, are the Nationals trying to be good yet, and is he ahead of time? Incredible season last year as a rookie in 79 games, puts up a 120 WRC+. It's a 159 right now. And you might say, Weston, there's no shot they would want to trade him. You're correct. If they were a normal, smart team, it is the Washington Nationals. And that is why you kind of gotta, I am aware of that. We can still trade for Springer. Bring Springer. Bring him back. Nah, simply go acquire James Wood. It's like trying to find players on bad teams. So Gavin Lux does play the outfield. It's a very similar Altuve situation. He's got great offensive numbers. His defense is terrible if you're looking at Fangraphs. That's an option. Where are the Cardinals sitting? The Cardinals are below average. Lars Nootbaar, for them, is having a good season. He's pretty much a moot point defensively, but he's having a really nice season for them. I could definitely get down with him if they're in a position where they're wanting to be a seller. Like, the end of it all, what I'm getting to the point here of, the Astros absolutely cannot roll into the season with Jose freaking Altuve playing left field. He's not confident there. That is abundantly clear. He's having the worst offensive season in quite a while, and I'm going to pull up his split really quickly because I want to know, what is his split when he's playing left field versus when he's not? Like, where is he? He's putting up negative WAR right now. That's not... You can't have a successful team when Altuve's putting up negative WAR. First pitch for Lance is just outside. Nice pitch, just can't quite grab it. What's your favorite McCullers game? That's a good question. Another really nice pitch from Lance there. That was 80. I think that was the... Would have been the knuckle curve. Just barely grabs the top of it. But he's looking solid in this at-bat. Ground ball. Fouled it off. So it's 1-2. Dooba-dooba-doo. Defensive positions. Insane. Outside. Makes it 2-2. So Altuve's best position is the 26 at-bats he's had as the DH, which obviously is not going to cut it. He's been incredibly poor as a second baseman, which does shock me, surprisingly, and has been mediocre as a left fielder. I just simply... I simply cannot think that that is a good thing that he's still out there. I do not care what the numbers even say. I will not accept that he is benefiting anyone playing out in left field. My bracket challenge is cooked, might I say, for the Chell. Knuckle curve, skied, fly out, really good wood on it, but Jake Myers is there to run it down. Do I want to know what the exit velo and expected batting average were on that pitch? Definitely the hell not, but am I going to look it up? Listen, someone's got to be a nerd here. I know my job. I know my place. I'm going to say that was 102 off the bat. 106. At that point, bring a fourth Jake Myers. Ground ball fouled off the sinker at 94 again. Below on the sinker's looking pretty solid. Ahead of the count 0-1 for Lance McCullers. Here's the pitch. Ooh. Oh! That was a freaking beautiful knuckle curve that caught a piece of the zone, does not get the call. That is incredibly disappointing. That was a beautiful pitch. Very, very easily could be 1-2 right now, or just a strikeout if they would have said he went there. Instead, it's 2-1. Very, very depressing missed opportunity there. Fouls one off the knuckle curve, or the changeup, pardon me. Evens the count at 2-2. That was such a great pitch. Would have loved to have caught him looking there on that outside corner, or outside edge, but just doesn't quite get it. 2-2. Swings into the dirt. Filthy, filthy, filthy changeup. His second strikeout of the day. Lance McCullers puts the second man away for 2 outs in the second inning. I'll play ball. Check out Taylor Ward. Oh, Mike Trout's on the IL again, to the surprise of no one. 92-mile-an-hour sinker gets away from him. There's the Lance we know. Taylor Ward is batting under 200 with an OP, an on-base of 215. My God! Can he get a 50-50 call? McCullers is placing the pitch so beautifully on the corners, and he cannot get a call. Oh man, Chief Sosa looks different than I pictured. .92-mile-an-hour sinker just outside. It's a 3-1 count. It's been like 3 years since we've been able to say Happy MLJ Day. Happy MLJ or LMJ Day. LMJ. Why was I saying MLJ? McCullers Lance Jr. It's going very Lance McCullery. 3-1. Yup. Yep. That's about what I expected. It's fine. That's how it is. I don't love that he's like walking around so much. I really hope that's just him kind of eating it, but I love seeing where that pitch was on the Savant tracker. All right. Ground ball. Changeup, fouled away. The changeup's picking up velo, yeah? Happy let me juice day. Never say those words again. I did pick up a different energy. It's not a Celsius, boys. I'm drinking on a V8 energy. I don't know if this is healthy, but I know I'm not. Tastes really good. It's like orange pineapple. I am pretty content with it. All right. 0-2 count. McCullers on the 9th hitter. He is at 40 pitches through 2 innings. We have never been more back. I think it's probably going to be 3 innings today. I think you'd try to get him a 3rd inning. But honestly, if you wanted to let him go for 2, since it's going to be around like 42 pitches, I could see them calling it at 42. That did not hit him. You're joking. That's so friggin' dumb. Be a jerk and argue that he didn't try to get out of the way. This ump sucks. Allow me to be the most drunk uncle of all time. This ump sucks. Hate to bring them up, but do you like who the Jets drafted? It is a offensive lineman. And the Jets did get rid of Rodgers, which means it's been a good offseason. Bro, he leaned into that. He leaned into it. 2-0. Not great. I don't think I've said this story yet on here, but I will now because it's a very funny story. I got recognized, if you can quite call it that. Really nice pitch. Finally gets a call. In day-to-day life. Not just in day-to-day life. At work, in fact. Which was the funniest thing of all time. And it was not because of the Astros stuff, which was the weirdest part of it. I am genuinely surprised that the first time I got picked out in public was not... Do you yell about the Astros? But it was a Jet thing, which is wildly amusing to me. And it is a coworker of mine who watches the Patriots and is a Patriots fan, and was like, yeah, I was watching a thing trying to find Patriots highlights and you popped up. And I'm like, huh. That's really odd. I will say, I will never forget the first time I ever realized it, because my reaction was not, well, yes, I do. No, because she goes, do you make videos? And my reaction was not, yeah, I do. Or, oh, yeah, do you recognize it? It was, who told you? Because I was like, who at my workplace knows this and told other people? But no, it was a natural sighting, which was very odd. In retrospect, was it funny that my reaction to that was immediately, who told you? Incredibly. But I think that is the most befitting reaction I possibly could have had. Are we surprised, Brandon? I do fear that the chat is a little bit ahead of me. So it appears that McCullers is going to walk this man, which he did. And this is what we all expected. What are the numbers looking like? So you're at 2 Ks, 2 walks, 2 hits, no runs so far. Bases are loaded. You cannot pull Lance McCullers from the start. This is his cross to bear. You know, the umpire has not been good. Like that, there have been a couple of calls that have not gone his way. They've also been very inconsistent, so it's not like he can even learn the strike zone. Because some of the pitches have been on the line and they've been balls and some of them have been strikes. Pitches that have been in the zone have been balls and outside of the zone have been strikes. So you can't even, like, fully... It's not even a consistent zone that you can learn. Which is my biggest gripe when I talk about the strike zone. I don't really care, ultimately, how weird it is. If it's a consistent zone, it's a good zone. However, this has not been a consistent zone. 1-0. McCullers, second pitch. On the line, picks up a nice strike there. He needs to stop nibbling. You built up the confidence to nibble, but maybe you shouldn't. Maybe the Lance McCullers theory is that he should just fill the zone. Just pump the zone. That is what I would do. 1-1. Delivers. Swing and a miss. Sinker. 93. Just outside. Really good pitch. You're ahead of the count 1-2. I wanted this. I've prayed for this day to return so that my sweet boy could return to us. 1-2. Outside. All right. 2-2. Don't do this to me, Lance. I love you more than any other person on this platform. 3-2. Are we surprised at this outcome? We're not. We're not. This is as it was always going to be. Flares it up. Out to grab it is Brendan Rodgers. Two innings of work. 55 pitches. 2 walks. 2 Ks. No runs. Ladies and gentlemen, Lance McCullers baseball. Are we in the least bit surprised? Are we shocked even a eensy-beensy little bit? No. This is as it was always to be. I did not, but also I am not familiar. I'm about to become familiar. TJ Friedel. About to become real familiar. His ass is mine, let me tell you that. Bang, look at that. Good defensive outfielder. Offensively, you know what? I'll take it. Does not whiff much. Does not chase much. Doesn't walk, but puts the ball in play. What have I always said? Put the ball in play, good things happen. 98th percentile of outs above average, which we always love. Really good base runner, it appears. Where is his... Yeah, bring me his offensive numbers, baby. Come to me. 85 WRC plus. Was a 115 not too terribly long ago. We can live with that. Expected WOBA is a bit below his actual WOBA, but this is the worst his WOBA has been since 2022. Expected WOBA. So, we're going to say it's an outlier. Bring him to me. Yeah, this is the Lance McCullers Jr. I remember. This is so the Lance McCullers Jr. I remembered. Are any of us shocked? Oh. This is the Lance that we all prayed would return. Maybe some of y'all didn't. I did. God. Like, it's terrifying. I forgot how highly stressful Lance McCullers baseball was. I'm interested to know if he ends up pitching the third. Because, like, I was figuring he'd be around 50 pitches. Oh, no, that's because he is. No, Christian Walker must have, like, upset God. Like, there's a big difference between an unlucky player and whatever the hell Christian Walker is having to deal with at the moment. It's like, oh, yeah, Christian Walker had 3 balls hit off the bat at 115 miles an hour last night. They were all for outs. Absolutely the third inning is his cap. I said his cap was going to be around 50 pitches. I thought that would get him through 4. It very much did not. I don't know what McCullers I was remembering. But 80 pitch cap? Really? God, that's high. I don't know that I would have done 80, but... So he's got 25 pitches left in the tank. That'll get him through what? The first 2 outs of the inning? Jordan update. I haven't heard anything. Like, to my knowledge, he just was put on there for lower body tightness, if I'm not mistaken. So hopefully it shouldn't be too long. I'm so sad I lost my source for the Astros news. Was that me? Couldn't be me. Wrist inflammation. What did you do? Or did they just... Allow me to pry on information. How'd you lose it? Also, you mean to tell me that I could have been breaking scoops and you didn't get a hold of me? Damn. Some good agua, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, man. I want to make such a terrible joke. But I will not make the joke. But just know, it was a really good one. 1-0 to Carantini. Pitch down out of the... Or just clips the zone. Secrecy is overrated when compared to making a YouTuber very happy. Made from black and green tea. I'm trying to get a read on this energy, man. Because, like, I know... A leading energy drink. That's Descript. Because, like, don't get me wrong, I'm sure that most of this is bad for us. I don't do Celsius now. I have corrected that. Definitely had a coworker who knows a lot about health that was like, hey, you're gonna die. And I'm like, probably should not then. There was something about the word heart swelling that made me wildly uncomfortable. Swings and misses at strike one. Absolutely horrified to see another inning of Lance McCullers, but I'm also so dialed in. It wasn't even palpitations. It was straight up like, yeah, do you know why Celsius are bad for you? No. It makes your heart swell. Oh! There was something about the wording of it that made me just be like, actually, I think I'm good, man. It was my equivalent of, like, moist. Yeah. Hey, look, another... Excuse me as I respond to a text message. I am trying to find another way that I can wear a Jets hat at work. Bang. Holy Lord, another bit of will coming in. Literally just saying, take your time. But, yeah, no. So Lance McCullers will now come back for a third inning of work, it appears. I'm terrified. Verlander pitched over 700 innings as an Astro. Insane work. All right. So, what are we hoping for here? First pitch is outside. The cutter! All right. All right, boys. Spicing it up. If he can get 3 quick outs. Yeah, however, it's McCullers. Ground ball, toss to McCullers, gets to first. A 2-pitch out. Let's go, Lance. Let's go. What an absolute beauty. Not too bad, not too bad. Will, you bring up such a great question. Because, like, aside from just actual games played, he won more of everything in Houston. Like, he has better all-around numbers with the Astros. Like, significantly better. I'll pull it up. I'm gonna dig into the numbers here. Because if I'm not mistaken, his ERA is almost a full run. It might be a full run better as an Astro than as a Tiger. So, Obviously, of his 3,335 strikeouts, 2,300 of them are with the Tigers. 900 and foul. Thank God. 900 of them are with the Astros. His career ERA with the Astros was 2.71. Massively, picking away at it. If you remove that final season where he was pretty bad, it's a lot better. Won 2 Cy Youngs with the Astros. Was nominated a 3rd time. So, 2 Cy Young Awards with the Astros. 2 World Series titles with the Astros. 3 Cy Young nominations with the Astros. With the Tigers, it is 1 Cy Young win. Now, he did win the MVP that same year, so I will not discredit that from him. But 1 Cy Young with the Tigers, 4 Cy Young nominations. Let me double check this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 All-Star Game appearances with the Tigers, and that's insane that he's not even going to be a 10-time All-Star, Verlander. That is psychotic. Keep in mind that will include seasons like 3.04 ERA does not have that appearance. That's psychotic. Was not an all-star with a 3.63 or with 3.36. Insane for Verlander. Back to the matter at hand. He was a great Astro, and he won with them. He won a World Series, 2 of them actually. Finally won his World Series game. He won an ALCS MVP. Did he win one with the Tigers? He did not. McCullers, a quick 1-2-3 inning, and it looks like he will, in fact, get a 4th inning of work. Stuff you love to see. 1 ERA title with both, but his ERA title with the Tigers, and again, this is why he was great with the Tigers. Obviously, I'm not taking anything away from that. His season where he won the MVP with the Tigers and the Cy Young, and it's important that you look at it because obviously he pitched a lot more. 251 innings. That's insane. That was the year he won the Triple Crown also. A 2.40 ERA, a 1.72 ERA plus, a whip at 9 or 0.92, and a K per 9 of 9 flat. When he won his other ERA title with the Astros, in a, if I'm not mistaken, higher run environment, it was a 1.75, a 2.18 ERA plus, a 0.829 whip, which is significantly better, and a 9.5 K per 10, or K per 9. His walk rate was better. His hit rate per 9 was better. His FIP was better. Everything was better. Now, it was in 75 less innings, 76, pardon me. It's really tough. It's really, 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 really tough. I think it's harder for me also because, like, I became an Astros fan and, like, a fan of baseball after the prime of his career in Detroit. Like, he was on the downturn. So, like, I think of baseball. I don't think about his Rookie of the Year campaign or his first time being an All-Star or his first nominee or his win in MVP or his follow-up season to that or all the games that he won there in the playoffs where he drugged them through the ALDS against the A's or any of that. I wasn't into the sport at that moment in time. Like, so when I think of Verlander, I thought of him as, oh, it's that Tigers pitcher that's really cool. I really like him. And then he was on the Astros. And I was like, holy crap, this pitcher that I really like is now an Astro. That's awesome. And so all I think of him as, because of when I started watching the sport, is an Astro. So, like, in my heart, yeah, he should wear an H. But also, if you've been watching the sport, that's the difference. I started watching in 15. So for me, yeah, he spent the 15 season when the Tigers were 16 and the first little bit of 17 If you started watching baseball between like 2013 and 20 now, yeah, he's an Astro. If you were watching in 2005 and watched him go to multiple pennants with the Tigers and multiple deep runs and win all these different games, that's an incredible fumble job there by the bat boy or the ball boy. Like, yeah, he's a Tiger. It's just dependent on when you started watching it. If you watched it from the start, though, I think there is also a very good case that you could say, maybe an Astro. He reinvented himself. Like, what's Randy Johnson wearing in the Hall of Fame? He was with the Mariners for a while. He was with the Mariners longer than he was with the Diamondbacks, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, he was only with the Diamondbacks, what, 4 years? Okay, 8 years, so I was off by a bit. But 2 of those were at the end where he was kind of bad again. So, more or less, 10 years with the Mariners, 6 real years with the Diamondbacks, and then a couple years bouncing around as Old Man Randy. And the seasons with Montreal. He's in as a Diamondback. It's a very similar thing. Obviously, it's different because he spent significantly more time with the Tigers than the Astros, and Johnson spent just a little bit more time with the Mariners than the Diamondbacks. But he's got more innings with the Mariners. He's got more wins with the Mariners. He's got more total strikeouts with the Mariners. But he's got a better ERA plus with the Diamondbacks, better K per 10, better FIP, better ERA plus, and a better just base ERA. And he wears a Diamondback. And you know why he wore a Diamondback? Because he won there. And he didn't win in Detroit. Well, no, he didn't like the Mariners in the end. He's a Met. Put him as a Met. Yeah, so if you started watching baseball in 2005, you probably would be like, no, he's a Mariner. Or not a Mariner, a Tiger. Does anyone like the Mariners when they leave? Like, they kind of have a really good job of kind of pissing off icons. Put him in as an Astro only because he had that insane clip after they won the Twin Series where they were like, give a speech, Justin. And he's like, dude, what a weird year. I wasn't even effing here to start the season. Unreal interview featuring that guy. Yeah, like, as one does. Why did he not? Fair. I am fascinated to see if somehow the Astros force the other pitcher out before McCullers leaves. Mainly because McCullers is McCullers. Very poor base running there, which sucks, but, you know, we move. I don't know. I love the Verlander debate of where he's going to go, or how he's going to be inducted into the Hall. I feel like almost as the consolation prize of never having him win there, maybe you should induct him as a Tiger. I don't know if that's insanely insulting, but like, maybe you give him that of like, hey, at least you have that. I don't know. Is it weird of me to say it because like he was consistently good in Houston and like yeah, he was great in Detroit, but he didn't really string like multiple dominant seasons together. Like he was good in a lot of those seasons, but like in 3 straight seasons, he had a sub 2.6 ERA, and one of them was a sub 2, and he only strung 1 2-year stretch in Detroit where it was sub 3. Now again, different run environment, but also when he was in Detroit, he was a good pitcher on occasion. And he was a good pitcher and on occasion would be dominant. With the Astros, it was like, oh, Verlander's pitching? Do not take your bat to the plate. Take a toothpick. I don't care. Get off the field. Let it sink in that our best player right now is Jeremy Pena. I have let that sink in the entire time, and I'm taking a victory lap with it. Because I didn't make predictions. I just thought that Pena was going to have a good return to form. So, womp womp. I'm right. Everybody else deal with it. Altuve in a 2-2 count. You have 2 runners aboard. I'd like to get another run of support for McCullers here. Also, maybe the only reason that games were going faster was because McCullers was not pitching. Because all of a sudden, oh, Jose. That's a rough one there, bud. I think this is going to be McCullers' last inning. Which I can live with this. This has been a solid little return from Lance. I'd like to see him get one more strikeout. I'd like to see him not give up a run in it. Or any runs. Because I'm dangerously close to that stat line. I will print out a picture of the closed captions with me if I get it dead on. I hope that does not happen because that means that after this inning, the game would be tied. But also, I am a visionary. And I know my talent. It's a nerve-wracking game, man. McCullers is so back. I will say he's definitely looked like he's looked good. I've been very happy with how it's gone. I think this is about what I was like expecting that it would look like. Already has ball one. Again, very Lance. Hey, what pitch is this going to be? What pitch is this going to be? Nice. I mean, not nice because it was way outside, but you know. 2-0 now. Oh, I feel like Salvador Perez has to. Salvador Perez confuses the hell out of me. Because I'm like, man, Salvi's got to be like, what, 39 now? And it's like, oh, he's still in his 20s? Like, bro has been in the league forever. Now he's 35. So, like, finally he's old. But I vividly remember, like, during the COVID stoppage, thinking to myself, like, oh, man, Salvador Perez, it's going to be really hard to recover from him in his late 30s. Oh, he's 29? Like, after the injury. I vividly remember that, because I'm like, yeah, he was a part of the Royals runs, and I thought of him as, like, the savvy veteran of those teams, which he kind of was, because everyone on those teams were toddlers. But I'm like, oh, sure. Oh, he's still there? Oh, he's still freaking not putting up the same numbers, but like he's still been solid. Also, here's why I think Salvador. This is at the end of it all. This is why, in my opinion, he should be in the Hall of Fame. Good vibes. He just seems chill. Maybe he's just a chill guy that likes baseball, and for that reason, put him in. He's good. He's been well above average offensively as a catcher. He's won Gold Gloves. I have honestly not paid too much attention to his defensive numbers, but I'm going to assume he's won, what, 4 or 5 Gold Gloves? I would like to see some defensive numbers, which I will pull up. Catching, his frame rate's good. He's framing in the top 75% or top 70 percentiles. And this is old man Salvi. Like, this is not even going to be him in his prime. But if we can really dial it back. Okay, so we do have Baseball Savant. I freaking love you. They did go back and retroactively do it. Framing, see, this is what I love. This is the type of, like, little growth that I love from a catcher. If we're looking at some of these numbers. Caught stealing and pop time numbers in his younger age. Oh my God. What an absolute dynamo. 80%, all of his numbers are red. And now that he's gotten older, and he doesn't have that, you know what's really solid and really above average recently? His framing. So I'm going to say that the Gold Gloves are earned. I'm going to find him real quick on Fangraphs and look some of those up. Salvador Perez. 1-2 now for McCullers at 77 pitches. Way pulls that one, which is, again, very accurate of Lance McCullers Jr. Defensive WAR. So during Gold Glove campaigns, 13, 11.2 defensive. Or defensive, fielding, and positional judgment above average. Well above average for the years he was winning Gold Gloves. Above average last season and looking pretty solid this season. His offensive numbers are really good. I think he probably makes it. Also, he has a ring, which, like, obviously there's a lot more to everything, but he has a World Series ring on top of it for a team that quite literally did not do it. He has a Clemente Award, which does not matter. He won the World Series MVP the year they won it. 5 Silver Slugs and 5 Gold Gloves as a catcher. And not that it matters to anything statistic-wise, but it matters in the hearts of voters. All of this with one club, and he's probably going to only be with that club. The only time in his career he hit more than 27 home runs, he hit 48. That has nothing to do with anything, but I need you to know that number. Because that is stupid. I think you throw him in. I don't think it's a first ballot. I don't think it's the first 4 ballots, but like once you get into the tail end of it, and it's like, yeah, it's Salvador Perez. Yeah, he should be in the Hall of Fame. Swing and a miss. Beautiful pitch. Beautiful slider way up and out of the zone. Why are you complaining? 80 pitches now for Lance. And he's going to stay out there, it appears. Ball 1. Interested to see how this goes. Did he go? You suck. You suck, you stink, I don't like you. Maybe I am a bad person. Beside the point. 2-0 count now. And I'm going to start biting my fingernails because McCullers is making me nervous. Thank you. Two 2-1 count now McCullers has on the 9th hitter. You got to get this guy out. Does he do a hard selly? Is he gassed up if he walks off the plate? So why was the other one a strike, but that one wasn't? Three 3-1. I am starting to bite the cuticles. Fouled back. Or fouled straight into the dirt. Full count again. For Lance McCullers Jr. 3-2. He's at 85 pitches. This is the last batter of his day. This is the last, possibly the last pitch of his day, unless it's a foul ball. What does he do? Timeout taken by the batter. I'm just nervous. Fouled back. We'll see an 87th pitch. Full count still for McCullers. Another timeout taken by the batter. Good God, you are trying to kill me. 3-2. Beautiful. Are you I didn't. I caught myself. That's simply a strikeout. That's a strikeout. He got him. That's a travesty. Like, he got the beautifully dialed pitch. Beautifully dotted pitch. You didn't because I stopped. That's a beautiful pitch. That was a strikeout. Don't really have too much else to say. That's a strikeout. Like, he got him. I don't know what you want from him there, to be honest. That's just a really unfortunate pitch. Like, bro did everything right, and Willie, though, so that's incredibly unfortunate. We're probably going to go through the final out of the inning. Hopefully it'll be quick, and then I'll probably dip. Okay, so we are now going to review Lance McCullers' day. I will be terrible about this, by the way, because regardless of what happens in this at bat, I'm going to view McCullers' stat line as 4 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 5 Ks. And I am aware that it is 3 2/3 with 3 walks and 4 strikeouts. No, it's not. It's simply not. That is not what happened. He threw a beautiful pitch that dropped into the zone for strike 3. And it was not called. I will be a terrible person about this. Overall, it's Lance. It's very Lance. Relatively sporadic. I'd like the velo to be higher. I think that'll come in time. I think it was really smart. Great play there to gobble up. You get out of it. McCullers gets through his 4 innings, partial 4 innings, without a run surrendered. Taylor Scott picks up an out. Massive play there. McCullers finishes it spotless. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So overall, for the McCullers outing, I think his best pitch was definitely the changeup, and he used it a lot. They did a really good job implementing that high into his day. The knuckle curve was hit or miss, but I did like it a lot. The sinker was eh. I think if he can build his velo back up on the sinker, he'll be fine. But if the sinker can't get back up to around 94 consistently and then drops off to 91 late in the game, I just think you've got to be an off-speed pitcher at that point. And that's not to hate on McCullers. That's just me saying what it is. Like, it's got to have velo backers, just kind of not worth throwing because you're not going to blow guys away with it. I think you can be an incredibly effective pitcher if you're throwing the sinker like 10% of the time, if you have that great changeup, that great slider, and the great curve. Knuckle curve looked really, really good. I think they were nibbling too much with the knuckle curve. They should have just dared hitters to hit it, which they did not do, and I don't love that. I thought it was a really good outing for Lance. It's not great, obviously. There were still a lot of things that you kind of came to expect with him. There was more walks than you'd like, even though one of them is highly suspect. It was a Lance performance. The pitch count was high. There were base runners aplenty. But that is McCullers baseball. Like, I'm not going to be shocked that he pitched a game that I pretty much expected. I mean, I came on here and said I think he's going to go 4 innings of 5 strikeout, 2 walk, 2-run ball. And he went 4 innings of 5 strikeout, 2 walk, no run ball. It was very Lance McCullers-y. It was. I'm not shocked. I'm shocked they had him go as deep as they did. I was really surprised to see 87 pitches for his day. I was expecting around 50. So I think that's a positive. I think he was able to go deeper than we were expecting. I think there's a lot of positive for it. You're still going to need him to continue to keep building back. I think that's going to be the big thing. But obviously, I don't think McCullers strikes me as a person who's like, I'm back, and is going to stop. So I think he's going to be fine. But I'm happy with it. I think that's a good performance. But now, on the more dour note, I must finish getting ready to run away. I will be back very late tonight. Yainer Diaz, guys, won, but it's going to be an out. That's unfortunate. The video will be out super late tonight. I apologize for that. But this is a video that I definitely want to really collect my thoughts on. And I could rush one out before I left, probably. Even now, though, it's going to be pretty dicey on if I could or not. I probably wouldn't. And I would rather give you guys a good long one tonight, like late, than just toss one out for the sake of it. So, that is it. Thank you all for chiming in. Loved seeing y'all again. The talking was great again. McCullers is so freaking back, boys. As for right now, though, that's it. Video later on tonight. Have a good night. Go Astros. Hopefully they don't cough up the lead. But, the White Sox are an odd team. So, until then, have a great Sunday, guys.